What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. I'm, of course, your host, Crash, and with me, I've got my number one and my number two, Static Gorilla in the building, of course, Meza in the building. What's going on, fellas?
Wait.
Hot Cheetos.
Who's number one and who's number two?
I'll let you guys figure that out.
I'm 1.5.
You guys have to fight it out. First to 10. We'll do it afterwards.
All right, when MK1 comes out.
MK1, first to 10s, complete randoms, everything, cameos and all. That's how we'll decide. But welcome.
Play Homelander.
Oh my god! All right, we'll get into that.
God.
We'll get into
Spoilers.
that.
No,
Spoilers, dog. I just want season 4. Really, that's
No, man, that's not true.
But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. This is, of course, Double Tap. This is the podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. This is recorded on the 24th of July, 2023, to be released on the 25th. And bro, we got a week. We had a week of very interesting highlights. Today is a 0 day for a new, the first DLC character for Street Fighter 6, and we talk about what went on at San Diego Comic-Con amongst other things. But guys, welcome. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms, on Twitch, on Blue Sky. We're out there on Blue Sky. Our domain is doubletap.gg. You can get to all episodes just from that website address alone. So feel free to join us there. If you want to get involved with our awesome community, we also do have a really dope Discord you can join in. But let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. This is going to be a full week. We got a lot to talk about. Let's start it with the Street Fighter news, man, because it's a lot more than just a character. But let's talk about that character, right? Rashid is out. He's been out since like last night, right? Like for Japan, right? There's already been mad not tech videos, but a lot of tech already getting shown off. But he came out earlier today for us here in America and the rest of the world, post all the maintenance, and it's early. It's day 1, it's day 0. I'm not gonna say definitively, but how are we feeling about the character right now? For everyone here that's played, I know I've got to play you, Static, but you've been taking them online. Have you been playing at all, Meza?
I have not gotten a chance to play him.
Okay.
I mean, I got home and I went to sleep.
Respect.
I hate Rashid, but like he looks cool, so I can't complain.
Okay, so how are you feeling about it, Static?
Besides the busted level 2 super, which is causing infinites all over the place and block string infinites, which I didn't learn or practice because obviously it's going to be gone. He has a tool for almost everything. I don't see necessarily a weakness in the sense of, like he can keep a fireball game going. He can go under fireballs, not very fast roll, but once he's optimized, I think he's A tier. He has 2+ buttons. Like that's very odd for a character to have.
Standing medium punch. What's the other plus button?
Crouch medium punch.
Oh, crouch medium is also plus. I didn't know. Wow.
It's 2 frames and it's also like 4 frames active. So
what?
And it's not an anti-air, but maybe everybody's just mistiming it, but his heavy spinning mixer is an anti-air, so yeah, that's working too. So I don't know. The character itself, look at Idom here.
That boy.
He's got damage. People are finding like different types of like punishes and damages going on. I'm just trying to find out the most useful stuff for the situations that I find myself in, such as corner, wall splats. If I'm like -3, where do people like to push buttons so I can EX spinning mixer, or I'm sorry, OD spinning mixer. And then the eagle spike is very hard to deal with. It is a Honda headbutt, but it is also -30 somewhere, 500, I don't know.
-36, yeah.
Yes, right. So besides that, but with the tornado up, it is quite good. Yeah, I know. I don't mess that combo up. His combos aren't easy, by the way. Like he's got some weird punish combos that I haven't even tried, or I haven't even tried to incorporate Stand Fierce as a punish counter. But throughout the week he's gonna get stronger, and next week is already Evo, and at this point, who knows if he's even gonna still be, like, they already said that he'll be allowed to Evo through Capcom Fighters Twitter, but Evo gets the last say, I feel.
Yeah, so like I said, we're not gonna go super in depth into Rashid. This is just impressions. Like the guy's only been out for less than like 24 hours. So I mean, overall, yeah, he's got some interesting buttons. not as strong in the neutral as he was in Street Fighter V, from what I can see, from what I could just gather early on. But the damage is there. He definitely has some weirdo stuff. Very early to tell, but these are just some of the pros we're seeing. Cons, like, yeah, there's some definitely unsafe stuff, but you know, there's gonna be a learning curve to him. So he's not gonna be the easiest character to pick up if you're, you know, coming into the Street Fighter 6 like, you know, world. But I don't think you're gonna need an exorbitant amount of practice in order to kind of really lock it in. But until he kind of gets a little bit more time in the sauce, you know, kind of get marinated a little bit, get developed, you know, we'll see where he does lay in on this. But right now, initial impressions are like he's like solid-ish, right? It's what I'm hearing. Weird to solid are the two known words, is what I keep hearing.
Right. He gets in and gets out. And see, all these ghosts that this JP is throwing, you can Eagle Spike right through them all.
Yeah, he's got some very interesting situations that he could answer that other characters can't or don't have it as easily. So yeah, he could be an interesting kind of counter pick for certain characters, from what I'm seeing on paper. Once again, this is all strictly on paper, but until we kind of see some results, some data to show otherwise, we're just gonna have to go off of these initial impressions. So Rashid did drop, but he's not the only real big thing. Like, him dropping is cool. The biggest thing is because of that whole Evo, which we'll talk about that. But there's just like a whole other side of Street Fighter 6 that's kind of going on now since the Rashid patch this morning, and it's like the adjustments. So there is a patch that came with it. Nothing new. It's nothing extraordinary in a sense of like balancing, because they're not going to balance this game before Evo. That would just be fucking insane. But there's just been a lot of just changes in terms of the issues. Like, you're gonna see, and if you look at the actual official changes, the first 3 letters in practically everyone's patches is just going to say fixed an issue. Like, fixed an issue here. Fixed an issue on E Honda. Could perform a carry cancel in the first frame of the rapid cancel version of crouching light punch. I didn't know that myself, but I guess he can't anymore. But regardless, that's what the 99% of this patch notes are about, are just fixing issues and such, just slight tweaks, but nothing in a sense of balance. So don't expect any kind of balance changes, like I said earlier. The big hit of this is the drive rush. For one, the drive rush, we have the macro, right? We have the macro drive rush that's now been introduced, and for both modern controls and classic controls. But on top of that, it was a big hit on the kind of the, I don't know if it was considered, I'm assuming it's considered an option select, because you're letting the game make that choice for you. That's inherently the definition of an option select, is when you can light punch and buffer parry, but with also forward. So that way, if you actually were to get the hit of that light punch, you could automatically get the DR cancel and you can confirm. Otherwise, parry would come out. It's kind of a notorious clip now at this point. We saw Takeda use it during the actual Japan, what's it called? The Japan Street Fighter League. Let me see if I can bring it up. Where you at? Right, there we go.
Here's the thing. So I actually hate when this happens, because everybody's like, oh, it's too hard to do, it's so complicated, it's a technical thing. It's like, yeah, it's meant to be a little technical, but there's also setting a button for it. So that's also an option. I don't understand why they had to make it a 2-button press, because now we're starting to see Street Fighter 4 stuff, the stuff that people complained that they didn't want to see. Now you're getting all these option selects, and the game's going to get more in depth for no reason.
I don't want to say it's more in depth for no reason. You want depth, right? But
yeah,
there's
but
there's certain kind of depth that you don't need. So yeah, those the clip that we can see, that we can actually show the replay of, where Takeda was going against. I don't think that's the actual name of the player. Who's the actual player? I can't remember what the. My apologies, I can't remember the actual player's name for this match. But regardless, you can see in the replay where Takeda has him locked up in the corner. Takeda obviously being the Ken in this case. And if you look at his inputs, this is from the replay, this is where we've gathered. It's that this technique has been known. It's not like unknown, but it's like, it just to show you how it could be very abusable. So especially for hitbox controllers. More specifically, this is actually something that's even more useful for hitbox controllers than it is for traditional joystick controllers, because you could actually get a dash in between, while hitbox is just one button. You always will get forward. There's no in between. And you see him that he's actually mashing the jab, but he's also buffering forward on each jab, like to buffer. And you can see, like, don't know what's going on. At this point, he was actually fishing for a driver pack. But earlier on, if you see those counters happen, instant DR, right? So that was like the technique in itself, and it's a very
That's
very
cool.
it's very powerful. It's very strong, but it does give a significant advantage on a controller side, which you don't want. You want all controllers to be equal in the actual their actual capabilities. Even though, yes, in some case you can still say like, oh well, hitbox will forever be better than stick because there's no in between. It's just a button. There's no travel time, this that, and the other. Well, there is travel time, but it's different, right? You can always argue that, but that's at that point that's still preference. But if you're like just an optimized like monster, you would probably be doing something like a hitbox. But regardless, so this is what got tackled in the patch notes, is that you can't like. You can no longer do that. You can't like OS parry that, the mashing. But now, like, the thing that's been going on though is that you're patching one thing, but then we're seeing other things become prevalent, and not just like this is actually officially in the patches. I think. Well, I thought I had the patches still on here. It was still in the patches themselves, because now they have an adjustment that's been made that you can cancel drive rush, can activate even when light attacks whiff. So now you don't even actually have to hit in order to DR from a button, or rather more specifically from light attacks. This is being added with the additional cancel drive rush inputs. The relaxing of the drive rush inputs paired too well with low risk light attacks, and would have a huge impact on the fight if left as it is. This adjustment has been made to address that. So now if they're trying to do that, basically you're trying to buffer the jab, like you won't get that kind of like OS from it, where you can dash forward. And by the way, I said parry earlier. There is no parry OS on it. It's just an OS in itself when it came to the actual rush itself. I kind of said parry in between. I had to catch myself. So let me just be clear on that. So now that's the thing, is that you can trigger it on whiff, but that's what they did. So now you're not like, it's not a guaranteed thing. It's like if you decide to buffer it, you can still go off. And in the game now, which they've also changed, like we're getting layers upon layers upon layers of changes to drive rush. Is that now you can your what is it? Your inputs aren't eaten. Oh, excuse me. Your inputs, I think, as they said, the inputs are getting eaten, but your buffers during the DR splash, like the freeze, are now correct. Where moves that you're buffering in between will not get eaten. There was I think I had a clip of that in here, but now that's like a thing now, which is good. They had to fix that because it was very very annoying when you're trying to like punish a raw drive rush and your input gets eaten in between. It's like I don't know how many of you like played like Rev 2 like that, where if you played a charge character and someone like YRC'd, like, because RC was like full screen in that game, like you YRC'd from full screen, you actually would like lose your charge
Slayer.
and shit. Like, yeah, it fucking sucked. Like you were kind of getting the equivalent of something like that in the game, and it was very annoying.
We have that in DNF Duel, where if you hit conversion, it eats buttons. We start doing that on purpose now.
Oh, really? I did not know.
Yeah.
I did not know that was the thing in.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth to it. It's just same thing,
Okay. Well,
So, funny enough, there was a video this morning I saw of Chris Tatarian being taught by FChamp and I believe somebody dropped it into onto our Discord.
yes.
It was about Chris Tatarian getting taught by FChamp that those screen flashes, you can actually like hold a button, the button will still come out, sort of like how MVCI had that in certain situations.
When it came to like
Capcom using.
well, not X Factor, MVC, like you
When it came to
like,
the drive
during
rush.
during the
Infinite,
during
by the way,
during
active
the
switch.
the active switch and such, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on.
So no, it's just it's a lot, man. It's a lot that's that's kind of getting switched up, and the craziness about all these changes for us. Like, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but like you said earlier, Static, like Evo's next week. These are quite a bit of changes to kind of implement. Like normally you'd want to wait till after, right? Like Rashid being in, that already was kind of like, okay, like, you know, as long as he's not broken, which unfortunately he's broken for the wrong reasons right now, right? The infinite, even his wall jump, hurt box doesn't exist. You can't even DP him, right? There's just no hurt box there. So it's like quality control for Rashid has been kind of weird, and it's starting to just like show up more and more, like in more tweets, and obviously Capcom fighters are getting tagged in it, and they're already aware of, like, say, the infinite tornado, right? There was just no shot that was going to stay. It's just it'd be a complete and absolute joke if it did. But then there's, like I said, the other things, like the fact that DP doesn't like hit it correctly, like that will not hit there. In the screenshot here, we're seeing Ryu DP him in the corner as he's about to jump. Like, it just doesn't work, and neither does like Jury's DP. It just does not work. It just whiffs. So this character is broken, but not in the sense of broken good. It's just like the quality control was just not there. I don't know why. I don't know how it fell through, but this needs to get fixed. This needs to get fixed, like, fucking ASAP.
I wonder if they can try that with Chun and see if she's just invincible.
She's not.
On the wall jump,
I promise you, she's not. I was gonna ask for that buff.
Look, they're saying that
she has the hurt box.
Yeah, there's no. You see the blue? That's the hurt box. If you look at Rashid, there's no blue. There's no hurt box in there.
All they have to do is just add it.
Yeah,
really simple.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like, come on, man. If you're gonna like release a character, these are the kinds of things you should like have down packed, right? Like Street Fighter V, to my knowledge, I don't remember Street Fighter V having these insane patch issues. So this isn't like the only thing. so this patch has introduced other issues for other characters now that is allowing them to do like insane things. So right now, JP, I think you guys remember, JP had like a really funny glitch where if he command grabbed you, and I think it was like during I don't know if it was a fireball animation, it's just like a certain animation. If he command grabbed you, the opponent, not the JP, the opponent was able to still like walk around and such, even if when it registered, like the way the hitbox, like from the command grab,
like kind of like late.
Yeah, it was very weird. So it basically animation locked JP, but not the opponent. Now it seems in this new patch, that's no longer the case, where he can actually move post the situation and during the animation and actually link from it. And I'm talking from wherever he is. This is of course with CA, so this is like, when you're at super low health, he's at like 92% on a combo, like cash out 92%. So you might go like, oh well, who's gonna get that in tournament, right? Like, he goes around the corner, who's gonna get that in tournament? I'm like, that's not the point. Like, this is just a problem for the online ecosystem, right? Like, let's be real. Ranked, at least in my eyes, for Street Fighter 6 is kind of like a little bit of is a joke. It's skewed. The way the placements are, I don't think it's indicative of skill. But you can make that subjective, and I'll be like, okay, sure. But the fact that we've got the amount of Twitter clips we're already getting from Rashid. Just people getting infinite on ranked. They can't do nothing about it. They just lose. And they could be casual still. They might not be the dedicated hardcore like present company here, and you awesome listeners out there that are just like, well, it's gonna get patched. I'm like, yeah, but that's just like not good for the life of the game. And this is also very, very situational. But it's like, damn, they're gonna patch what? If this is already indicative of how Street Fighter 6 is going to be, where you're patching one thing and then other shit breaks, like, we are in for a long haul.
I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. It is their first technical game with
the RE engine.
new lead.
Yeah, and the RE engine. I was gonna say, and really also the game engine itself. Even though there have been Resident Evil games, this is different.
Like, I'm maybe we should expect even Tekken 8 to have some issues too. Maybe even Mortal Kombat 1, which we've seen Mortal Kombat have tons of issues before in the past. Even with patches, like they'll fix one thing and then something else will break, or they just come out, it's just broken already and nobody really figured it out until later. So do I think that this is such a bad thing for a refreshing of Capcom, no, I think it's okay for them to make mistakes. Major mistakes, kind of like the Rashid thing, no. This is like a minor glitch that's like, okay, it wasn't like week 1 or week 2 or even day 1. This is like a month or 2 in, and now we're like, oh, this is a thing. Somebody's really pushing the game to the limit, where it couldn't have been tested because it just probably wasn't something thought of or never occurred. So do I think it's bad? No, not really. I mean, I think this is fixable. Do I think the other stuff is bad? I think it's gonna be bad if they're not fully playtesting these characters. Stop bringing them just out to tournaments or these conventions. Really get people who've played the game enough or who have understanding of how to break these games. I don't want you to pick a top player. I want you to pick somebody who's going to try to break the game. So like, if you see these people who are breaking your game, bring those people in. Say, hey, can you really just try to break this new character and see if we miss something, right? So those are important things I think they need to do with finding testers.
Yeah, that's definitely one direction. But the other aspect is also, you know, kind of like the fallout from this is like, this is gonna fall on the you know, the TOs, right? Like, especially when it comes to EVO, if it doesn't get fixed in time, I know they're already aware of certain things, but it's a matter of whether or not they're gonna fix it in time. So due to the situation, they're just gonna, you know, like, it's a simple fix in the terms of competitiveness. Like, no one's allowed to do the tornado. You see it happen in a match. Clearly, the Rashid player is gonna get, like, gonna forfeit the round, forfeit the match, whatever they deem. JP player is the same. It's not. Luckily, these are all problems that you can get away with. You can get away with not having to patch it on the spot because it's still on the player for them to create it. Right? It's not like a weird situational thing. I mean, maybe the wall jump one might be a little weird, but that take it for what it is. If something further from this point on until Evo, if something even more broken comes out, we might actually just see something like maybe not run this patch potentially, which will be a nightmare logistically, or just you ban the character if it's Rashid itself. But if the patch is just unstable, it might not work. But it's something we're just gonna have to deal with.
All you need is for those systems to not have turned on in the last 12 hours. So
yep, absolutely.
But I mean, you still got to think about it though. So my problem with this is going into Evo. It's not like 3,000 people. It's not like 2,000. It's not like 4,000 maybe. It's 6,000 plus people that are going to be in this tournament, and I don't know if they have enough TOs to really pay attention. And let's be honest, how many real casual players that are going to show up?
Are you crazy? No, who are you crazy? When I see that, I'm going to pause it.
But you're not a casual player, though. Think about a casual player who's not going to know what's happening.
Bro, anybody that's spending money and going to Evo ain't just a casual player. They're going out to fucking play.
I would almost want to agree to that. But remember, the dynamic of fighting games has definitely expanded more. You have more viewers. You have more people who are willing to just play because, hey, I'm going because it's my first one. I've never been a 15-year-old kid, right? Maybe he's not like hardcore, but he's like, hey, I'm not on Twitter. I bought the game. I want to have fun. My parents said I can go to one event a year, and this is the one I want to try.
My parents let me go to Vegas.
If anybody's getting hit with this, they are complaining.
Yeah.
What do I do to get out of that?
Yeah, you're gonna say, what do I do to get out of it? And hopefully they know what they're talking about.
You think the 8 people behind them are gonna be like, yo? They're gonna be like, oh, and they're like, yo, T.O. Yeah, yo, T.O. Get him.
I'm just saying, lunk alarm.
Right.
I'm just saying, we still gotta look at it from the standpoint: 6,000 people, random times, whether it be 6 a.m. in the morning playing. Or
I hope nobody. Yeah, but I
just don't want anybody.
There's no way. I just don't see it. No fucking way.
There's one person. Just one who maybe don't even play Street Fighter 6, just wants to get a giggle. All right, there's that one guy.
Yeah, so they'll do it. They'll do it for the memes, of course. They'll do it for the memes, for the Twitter clip. But
they're like, I'll forfeit the round for that.
But there's 2 things, unfortunately, that you have to double check on your statement, though, Meza. One, I don't know what Twitter is anymore. That doesn't exist. I've never been on that platform. And 2, the thing I've definitely been on, X. That's all I can think of now.
From Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. X.
That thing has not switched over for me, so it's not X.
So it has for me. But the other thing you have to know is this ad break that we have to get into. So we'll be right back. We got some more coverage here for all things fighting games. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we're back.
I hate
So
you.
Meza, you know what's worse than 6,000 players?
What?
It's 7,000.
It's 7,000.
Oh,
my
damn. That's even worse.
God.
And I just I hate you, Dre.
7,061.
Damn.
I just want to say this. Dre, I hate you. As soon as we came back from the break, guess what happened to my Twitter? It's not Twitter anymore.
It was never Twitter.
I literally,
It was
I
never
really
Twitter.
refreshed.
No.
I had it as Twitter. I really refreshed it.
Now
back.
Twix.
I'm pissed, man.
That's X, baby. Xavier, Professor Xavier's
So
stoked.
dumb.
It is. It is. All right. So, just as dumb as the current state of Street Fighter 6 systems. Oh, got him. But let's follow up on that, man. So we had a hell of a weekend over at San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, okay, we weren't there, but we were watching. Like a lot of other people got to watch. Some awesome content that's coming out. Some not even fighting game related. You know, you're a fan of comic books, anime, and everything in between. It was the weekend to keep your eyes peeled. But we definitely were looking out for that Mortal Kombat 1 info. Ed Boon or Hody posted up very early on, like, oh, this could be a great place to go. So all eyes on him. So we got a couple of trailers and even some content that hasn't come out yet, but like there's Twitter clips of it because they only showed it exclusively in their panels and all. But let's just jump into the initial one, the official Umgadi trailer for MK1 that showed a lot more of the environment, the possible stories that we're gonna getting into, and some new characters, of course, right? We got some new characters. We got Li Mei has been shown off now as a much more prominent character. You know, in the past she's been a side character, nothing much, just a refugee, wrangler in MKX last time we saw her, but now she is full blown in the game, playable character, whipping ass with all the pink energies and lion-esque, animal-esque looking moves. Yeah, ancient secrets, mystical arts. Oh, okay.
And then, so pause real quick. Yeah, I was streaming it, and I literally thought it was Melina because I didn't know any
Damn,
better.
that's messed up, bro.
Anybody that's pink, God.
Melina, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't know. Let's be clear. I was shocked myself. I was in your Discord, right? Yeah, I was in your Discord,
stream.
and
Yeah,
I was
Discord,
like,
yeah.
how do I know this? I thought Static G was way more in the deep lore of MK, as I was over the years. Not the 3D era as much.
Anything after Shaolin Monks and Deadly Alliance, I know nothing. Even the characters in Deadly Alliance, I don't know.
You don't know who got introduced?
I just know Liu Kang died.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Then you got Zombie Liu Kang. And
Yeah, that was bad.
well, not necessarily. I mean, it's fine. But yeah, that's where my MK lore ends, and then it starts back in MK9.
Okay, so Li Mei now a bigger part, and we actually get to see another character that has been introduced, not new to the series at all, was just in MKX. Last we saw was not in MK11. You might not know from looking at her, apparently for some people, but it was kind of tough at first. But Tanya has been involved. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that section in a sec. All right.
I actually knew as soon as I saw Yellow. I
No,
was like,
no, fuck no. I could go to your
that.
stream. I could go to your stream right now, and you'd be like, "Yo, Jade," because that's the first thing you said. You said Jade first. No, and it's complete fun because I was like, "Oh shit, Staff." You know, like the way she was looking, I was like, "Oh, it's Jade," because we hadn't seen her face at this point. But I'm assuming it's gonna be
right
Jade.
there. Pause. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, Jade, because Staff. You're right. And then I was like, huh. Is that
Yeah.
And then she said Tanya.
Yeah, like all we got to see. By the way, the person in the background look a whole lot like Chameleon, right? Female Chameleon. If you don't know who that character is, might have gotten another character without realizing it. But anyway, yeah. So it's Tanya. Tanya's also another a returning character. She's coming back. Last seen, like I said, in MKX. A kind of a revamped moveset. I mean, there are slight similarities here. It's jarring a bit because this is not like her traditional like weapon that she's used, which is why it caused some confusion because the female staff wielding character. Who are you thinking? You're thinking Jade, right? So it's like, understandable. But it's Tanya, and we get to see some more gameplay of her. But we also got to look at more of the story involving Melina and a disease that they've already kind of hinted at before. Potentially even some like maybe some Kenchi like romance going on here. The way he's like acting around her as she's like on that table, on that chair, excuse me. And we get Baraka. Yes, there we go. And then we get the Baraka reveal, where he then explains Tarkhan, the disease, or it's a curse from Tarkhan, and it's like a disease that eventually it envelops you and it makes you into a Tarkhan. Because now it's been official that Baraka was like a merchant from Outworld, or a well-respected merchant before he contracted this disease. It's all on the official site. I'm not making this shit up, guys. You guys can go check this out. Cite my source. But we get to see some Baraka gameplay. So officially, he is an actual playable character in this game. And what a playable character too, right? I think
that looks great.
Some pretty wild ass combos. Got some coast to coast, a lot of damage. A couple other little tidbits, like even his arm blades get impaled. Right? If it looks like if you EX them in a character, it's actually now in the character and stays with them. Probably some DPS that we're gonna get over time. He did something similar at MK11 actually, so nothing too new there. But regardless, though, bro, he's got it all, man. My man's just got all the move sets.
I just like that they revamped a lot of the movesets to make the characters seem more. I'm not gonna say realistic, but they have this like more of a. It's like a weird impact to them where I feel like they look like they feel good. It's almost like that mixture between Injustice, the impacts for that, and then adding a little bit of Mortal Kombat with the like special moves being a little bit more. I guess they're still like pretty, but they're like it's not stiff. It just doesn't look stiff.
Tanya does not look stiff at all.
No,
I mean Tanya's moves look weird because she's doing like these weird splits. But I mean, other than that, everything looks really fluid.
Yeah, I think definitely the showcase. A good way to end it was the firework fatality from Li Mei on Rain. That was gnarly. I like how I think when we watched that live, we're like, oh, this is where it's gonna end right here. That's a cool way to. Oh, it's not ending yet. Oh my god, look what's happening. And it was like by the end, we're like, what the hell?
It's exploded.
Yeah, definitely a level up.
If I may, so I, there's been actually a couple of controversies today, actually, about Tanya's character change. Mm-hmm. Now, I, being the Mortal Kombat player and story player that I am, I mean, first off, yes, it is a new design. Yes, they gave her different hair, but and it's obviously a different type of look to her character. She looks more like Will Smith's mom from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She looks a little bit older.
Miss Banks, let's go, Miss Banks.
Yeah.
Wait. We're talking pre recasting, right?
Will Smith's hair? No, it looks like the sister of Vivian. Vivian's sister. That's the one. Not Will Smith's sister. Yeah, the one that was always serious.
Will's mom, his actual mom, right?
The other sister.
His mom, not. Oh, man, this is good. Oh,
wait.
I know.
Are you talking about Uncle Phil's wife or Will Smith's mom?
The third sister of Vivian.
Because there's another sister. Yes, there is another sister. I can't remember her name.
Her.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Remember the episode though? That was great.
I don't mind about all the changes, even if they have character differences, because of the time change.
Yes.
Because of the time travel, anything can change. Even a character. Look, Baraka might not even be Baraka. He can be Goro for all I know. You know what I mean? Like, not. Obviously, we see Goro as a cameo character. But what I'm saying is, like, people can be as a different look. Like, we got Striker, cameo, whatever. But the main characters obviously can be different. Li Mei is different. She has a different role. She's more involved with Liu Kang. Mm-hmm. Melina and Katana are cool. They're on the throne in that one part.
For now,
you got Rain sitting right next to Melina. Things haven't gone to poop yet. So
yeah,
we haven't
exactly.
hit the fan yet. So like, I'm fine with, and you know what? Tanya doesn't even have her eyes yet. So
I know. Listen,
good. I'm good. All this controversy, I can move on.
People need to just let game creators create. Okay. It's just something that hasn't been allowed for quite some time because of legacy and trilogy, right? So it's time to start over. Let us start over. Let them start over.
It's a two-way thing, though. Like, these are the characters that are the timeless characters they created. These are the ones that people like. And, when you go and change, it's okay to change. Like, I don't think, like I said, I don't think anybody here, gives a fuck about the changes to said characters, right? As long as the
However,
game plays right and plays well and it's fun, that's all we care about, right? But at the same time, like, you know, these are the people, you know, this is also your market. People want to, you know, this could be their favorite character. What would happen if your favorite character did get such an abrupt change, right? How do you think they're going to feel? Do you think they will pay for it? Like, are they going to not? Are they going to boycott it? This, that, and the other. It's a weird conversation. I don't want, but like the biggest thing is it's you know, just play the game for what it is. Like, you know, it's part of, like you said, Static, it's part of even how the game is. It is a reboot. It is Liu Kang's world. Things are his whole universe, his whole timeline. Things are changing. People can change too. That's okay. Maybe Liu Kang didn't like getting betrayed by Tanya and MK4 and getting killed, right? I don't know if y'all remember that one. That was
you walked into a trap.
You walked into a trap. Whoa, you're dead.
You know, like, she does look a little bit more like that one.
Like, you know, it's like the biggest thing people are tripping out about is just, you know, it's her ethnicity stuff. I'm like, bro, she's always been that of the darkest skin for all of us. She could have been freaking Hispanic or black. It didn't matter. We knew what it was. As long as she played right, that's fine. Her hair is different. Big fucking whoop. Doesn't mean it could be her hair the entire time. Who cares? Like, get past that. That's just like your character's there. There should be happy Tanya's in there. I'm not saying like, oh, just because she's in, you should be happy for everything. But regardless, give it a chance. You don't know. All right, you don't know. But I don't hear but here's the thing. I don't hear nobody complaining about everything else about her. Like, I played Tanya. I mained her in 4. I mained her in freaking 10. Like, she's never had this kind. She's always had like mystical like powers and such, but she's never had whatever the hell this is that's going on with her gameplay wise. Counter the way that she's using the triple break off spear, the multiple hands, like, you know, during her x-ray and stuff like that, and her fatalities. Like, she did not have any of this. Why is no one tripping out about that? Like, no, we don't, because
I mean,
it's just
nobody
like,
flipped out about Rain. Rain is completely different. He's
Rain. Yeah, Rain. Yeah, it's like word. This is what we're tripping out about. Like, come on, it is not that deep. It is cool though, regardless. But let it be that.
Where's Kenchi's bandana?
Yeah, where's Kenchi's bandana? He can still see as far as we can tell, right? This entire time. You know, it's like no one gives a shit about all these other things, but it's like really where the Tanya situation, that's what we're gonna really trip out about. Like, come on, dog. What is really going on here? But it is what it is. They went with that direction, and that's the direction they're going. We're not gonna be able to change them out on that. The game looks good. The characters so far they've introduced, including Darius, another cameo character. Once again, another MVP. Deep cut for you, or MVP. That Static G just would not stop calling him that the entire time he got
MVP.
announced. But
he's MVP of the WWE.
But he's a cameo, and his full, I believe it's just Armageddon is when he was introduced. I don't think he was in Deception, but in Armageddon he was definitely in there. And yeah, with the full setup and everything, so he looks dope. He's been added, so another cameo's been introduced along with the new characters. And we had a little bit more. It did not really just stop there either. We ended up with of course the one that made the big headlines. Let's get into that real quick. So the next day, day 2, I believe it was day 2 of it. Was it not? Or was same? No, my bad. You were right. Same day. I walked away and it felt like day 2. Yeah. And we've got our first Kombat Pack trailer.
Thanks, son.
God.
They look a little weirdly cheesy, but I like it still.
Yeah, because this is not like what you normally see them at. So we got to see Omniman, we got to see Ermac, we got. Well, it was only those 2. I don't know. Nobody came in on the right. Then we got Quan Chi, and then we've got Takeda on the right, and then
that was awesome.
Coming down from above, we had freaking Homelander. I'm just kidding. It was Peacekeeper. I was just making a John Cena joke.
Peacekeeper. Did I say the Enforcer? Wow.
I don't know what the hell you said.
The Enforcer is.
But
dude, oh my god, this game is so sick.
What a fucking lineup, bro.
Can I say for the record, they've always done great with like these DLC characters just being from any other place, which is really cool. But this time, I screamed I want Injustice 3. I feel like I'm about to play Injustice 3.
Right.
That's super, like, I gotta be honest. I feel like I'm really about to play Injustice 3 because it feels like these characters, and might I add, we might still get more invincible characters. I don't think Omni-Man is the only character that we will see. We might even get like a character like Adam Eve, who is kind of like the Starfire of that series. So I don't know, but this is hella dope. I mean, I just want to hear the lines between Homelander and Omni-Man. Like, they got to be popping off at each other.
Of course. Everybody, the meme is real. They are leaning into it, right? And it makes sense. I mean, we knew about this technically, like, if you remember very early on. I don't think we said it on the show itself because we didn't want to spoil it for anyone then, but I obviously came across it. But Amazon leaks for this happened like so long ago. And it made sense then, and it makes even more sense now, considering if things like the strike wasn't happening and such. There have been so many shows have been delayed. One being The Boys, the timeline within MK1 dropping and the new season of The Boys coming out kind of fits within a marketing scheme that works very well. It makes a lot more sense. So I wasn't as surprised to see Homelander. And of course, Invincible's gotten new season. Peacekeeper's has a new season. It's not happening yet, but this all ties in marketing for me. Like, it just makes a lot of sense. But then the other three, right? Ermac without a mask fully this time. We've seen his kind of face before, but it's like, I don't know. People are not vibing with it. Apparently, they don't like. He's a red ninja. Come on, give him his ninja mask already. I don't know why. Yeah, he looks terrible. He looks terrible.
I mean, if he still plays well, I don't think people are going to care. But, like, I get it. You want the aesthetic to be there. You kind of like the mask. That was the whole big thing. But I don't think we've ever really seen under the mask, right? Or has it been a time?
Well, he had the bandanas around his face.
Yeah, exactly. He had like the wraps and such. So it's like they would slowly come up. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We have seen him kind of without it. There was like an alternate costume in MKX that you saw him with that you could see his face even more abrupt. But like, I don't know. People just aren't vibing with how he's looking right now. We've got the other guy that's just as pale with Quan Chi making a return. Last scene when he got decapitated in MKX. Now, whether or not any of this is canon, it's like a no. It's like an obvious no, because Takeda is also in, and it's very clear like where in the timeline this is, right? Scorpion's not, Master Hasashi in this. He's Sub-Zero's brother. It's Bihan and Qui-Lian. Qui-Lian being Scorpion. Yeah, it's weird, but they just, I guess, wanted to still let somebody from the Combat Kids, I guess Takeda being one of the more popular ones, to make their way back into the game makes sense. Was not an MK11, neither was Kung Jin, but I guess between the two, I prefer Takeda over Kung Jin anyway, because I hated fighting against that character. So I'm fine with that.
I mean, I feel like Takeda seems a little bit older in this. Like, they might have.
He is, yeah.
Him up a little bit.
Yeah. People been posting up. They're like, "Yo, he's got wrinkles. Like, this is my man. This is not baby." They're saying this is not baby Takeda. This is like Grandpa Takeda. Like, word. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a rebooted series. They can do whatever they want.
He might use a whole completely different moveset than just the whip chains or whatever. So he might be doing some other stuff that we haven't seen before.
For sure. But yeah, so we've got we've got our first set of DLC. We've got some new characters. We still got a lot of other characters to get through, a lot more cameos to see in time. But MK1's shaping up to be solid.
You want to talk about the trailer that they showed at Comic-Con?
The one that hasn't released?
The one, yeah.
Okay.
Or no?
We can.
It was a story trailer. It was shown on cell phone footage, but it's just a story. I guess a story part that shows two characters that have not been in the game since 4 and 3, respectively.
Yeah, we can. You know what? We'll wait on that one. We already know who it is. They're gonna they're gonna. Yeah, you guys can go look it up right now. Just look up MK1 story trailer. You'll see it. You'll see like just like cell phone footage, because once again, this wasn't available online. It's supposed to be an exclusive for those that went out to San Diego Comic-Con. That's gonna most likely come out and hit the scene like relatively soon. But yeah, those two additional characters, we'll talk about them. It's really awesome to see them both kind of a long time gone or unplayable in the series for some time. So they're really starting to kind of build up this story that I'm getting more and more invested in. I can't wait. MK is just one of those games where I'm in it for the lore, man. I'm in it for the lore, and it's for a good reason, because that shit is deep. So for the fact that they're taking it and then just doing their own thing with it, like no holds barred, it could be anything. I'm super excited.
And they still have the Mortal Kombat new movie that's going to be coming out down
Yes!
the road. So it's
Oh.
like this is like all
There's
these
the
things
an-
are combining.
There's MK2, the new version, and of course also even the animated one, like Mortal Kombat. Oh, what the hell is it called? It's not Archives. It's like Mortal Kombat something, but it's like Johnny Cage centric. It's an animated one, like they have with the last couple animated MK movies they've made. There's another one for Johnny Cage that they announced. There's a trailer for that. So yeah, it's full MK swing. This is going to be a year for it as well. It's not just Street Fighter. It's definitely some MK love. So it's going to be a good old time. That post Evo drought and such is going to stop real quick. 'Cause remember, this is happening in September. I think last I checked, it's supposed to be September for release. So it's not that far away. Not that far away. Oh yeah, 15th. Yeah, because that's after Mortal Monday, because they don't have it on Mortal Monday this year. All right, so with that, we do have a couple other things to kind of wrap up on, but we're also going to wrap up on this quick ad break, guys. We'll be right back after this. We got some trailers to get into and some randoms to get into as well, so don't go anywhere. Be right here. All right, I'm out of my job, but I am just MK'd out, Street Fightered out, but we've got a couple other things to get into as well. So
I feel like I have to watch more of the history now. Like I actually like watching the stories and stuff like that. So
there are so many like multi-hour, just like watch all the cutscenes, or here's me explaining the entire Mortal Kombat lore. 4 hours, I'll put that shit on my living room, put it in the background while I'm working on something, and I'm good. It's great stuff. All right, so shout outs, give some love to KoF 15, of course. They're still out there doing their thing. I know we haven't reported much on them lately, but it's because it's been kind of chilling a little bit. But there is a new trailer that did drop for Najd that did come out. Najd, remember, is the character that won an art contest for KoF 14. So this is a very new character. It's obviously the second time she's ever been included, because obviously she only was created for 14 originally, but has since been brought to 15. We already knew it was going to be her, but now we actually got a gameplay trailer. I just want to say shout outs to the artist, the Saudi Arabian woman that submitted that. It's a very awesome character, and I'm super stoked to see that they're continuing it. It wasn't like a one-off, like, oh, this one game had this winning character in it. They actually brought her into 15. It's such a good move on you, SNK.
I would like to see them do this more often. And maybe not even just SNK, but other companies too. I think this is a really, really good motto, because there's so many great artists out there, and it puts them on the map. But not only that, it gives you a free character, right? A really cool free set of character designs. And if you do like somebody's that's outside of that, you can be like, okay, maybe we'll put that in the next game, because we don't have to tell them.
Yeah,
we'll talk to them on the side, but we don't have to tell them hey, you also kind of won the contest too. So, or you might even find somebody to bring on board to your team. But I think she's a really great design for this game, and I think she's going to fit 15 just as good as she did 14.
Yeah, she looks nice. She looks awesome in 15. I know they've changed up her VFX for her moves as well, but she looks dangerous.
The VFX look great, whatever that is. It looks like dragons, and they had to show you the life bars to show you, hey,
she does damage. Damage, yeah, she did, yeah. But yeah, so she's got brought in. We get to see a little bit more of the story, a little bit more of her I guess some of her potential rival matches she's gonna have, more cinematic matches, and just basically getting the kit right. Yeah, it's Kukuri. Shocker.
Yeah, I actually think that was really cool, because I was wondering if they were gonna have some lore for her like that with him, because they kind of have that same aesthetic almost, just a little bit different. But it's cool to see that SNK is taking some consideration into building a story again, because I think that's where they kind of fell off. After, man, I don't even know how long ago. I want to say KOF 98. They kind of just started throwing shit at the wall. I'll be honest.
I also don't know if she's bad or not, but when I say it sucks, it looks like she was draining health.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is next to her, as Arkea is saying, there is a little flower next to her bar down there.
Yeah, right.
Somebody,
down
I
in
think
the
it was
bottom
Juice Box. I said it was about a drop kick. Whatever that was. It was like a drop kick that she does, and that's what the levels are.
Oh, that's what her mechanics come from. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to see how she actually ends up playing. She's going to be releasing summer 2023, so got until end of August. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it maybe post Evo, like the next day after Evo gets wrapped up, so people can be hype on it, get on the high of Evo, and then go check it out.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think she's usable at Evo. Like not
she will be
usable.
Yes,
Like,
there will be a
it's
build.
demo.
Yes, there will be a build there for her. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do something right after, maybe actually giving an announcement of her release on top of any other characters that they're going to be bringing out too. So, but yeah, if you're going to Evo, you can actually play her there. So there is also that. So shout out to all my KoF homies that are going to be making the trip to play out in the desert. Don't play.
Yes.
Don't play that guy. That guy right there. Don't you play him, Static? Or
I play Kukri, yeah.
Right? You still do? Okay, I didn't know if you dropped.
Yeah, but I don't play the game.
You dropped the game.
Drop the game.
You dropped the game because you're playing the beta for another game, right?
Well, yeah, I'm about to because I just got the announcement that I was in there.
Yeah. So Static G will be playing the Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising beta. That's going to be going live this week. I believe it's Wednesday. I think Wednesday.
Yeah,
or it could be
hopefully
Thursday.
it's on PS4, right?
I think it's
PS4,
both.
PS5.
Yeah, I believe it's
PS4
both.
and PS5.
So yeah, there's already some inklings about some of the changes for the system mechanics, not just the obvious additions to the system mechanics that we've already been talked about, but also even things like the control schemes you're picking, that there are some changes there. But I'm hearing there's also a translation issue with the way some of those people have said what that meant. So we'll just have to wait till the game comes out to find out whether or not there is a different one. But that is just for the close in the beginning. Then there'll be an open afterwards. Yeah, that's the confirmation. So it's not like we can't play it, but you'll be the first one out of the host to jump on.
I mean, keep in mind, even so, I mean, Gabe will get another chance to play at Evo. So, if he wants to see if they've done any changes or anything like that, when he gets to Evo, they're going to have the build there as well. Yep. But the biggest thing is, I know they're supposed to be taking out like that overdrive. That's something you might want to look a little into when you're playing. So
we'll see where it ends up.
Were you playing? Were you playing
I
again?
used Percival, but I really want to use.
That's right,
Seox.
you did.
I want to use Seox, and I want to use what was the other one?
Siegfried?
Not
Just
Eustace,
play
that's the
Siegfried.
uses.
Yeah,
Play Siegfried.
if he's
That's
in
the new
it.
boy.
Oh yeah, the new character. Right?
Yeah, you gotta play the new.
Always wanted to
Yeah,
learn.
I play
Always wanted to
Eustace
learn
too.
that.
Lancelot. Oh my goodness.
Man, you play some boring ass characters, man.
Some boring ass.
What are you talking about?
characters.
Percival,
Eustace
man.
is the only cool one.
Crash Tag uses Narmaya for some reason.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
actually
them too.
interesting.
Until they give her
Dance
a good overhead, like she's not that interesting. I'm like, give me a
Nobody
mix,
has an
give me
overhead.
something, bro. I'm already dealing with stances like I'm a fucking Gen player. Like, come on, give me something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gen is good though. But okay.
By the end of the game, Gen was good.
Gen was fine.
All right, so with that, we've got a couple of things here for the randoms of the FGC to get into. Some quick little things that are going on here in our fighting game community. First thing off, we're no strangers to mods, right? Like, we kind of have dedicated entire segments for mods, and we usually yell about modders needing to get picked up because they do some amazing work out there. No less than the Smash scene, of course, have done some incredible work. This is what kind of drove me to it. I don't know where in the actual keynote it happened. There is it looks like there was a showcase for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate called the Ultimate Modding Direct that happened on the 21st, and it's literally an hour long, and it's an hour long of showcasing mods for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but in like Nintendo Direct like format, right? They'll do the awesome effects. They'll even do the the intros and everything, just like you would in a regular Direct. One version. Let me see. I think there was there we go. It's like an Alucard one, and they talk about Alucard's like release and such. Post all this. But the one I wanted to get into, the one that just took my eye, that I was like flipping out. I was like, what is this? Started here. This is what led me to it. I was like, what is going on? I didn't even realize the damn box until I saw that. And I was like, oh my God, you've got to be shitting me. There's just no
you're-
way, dude.
No, you're
There's
crapping
just
bricks.
there is no way I am shitting bricks that you've somehow imported Potemkin into Ultimate. Like, no shot, dude. And it looks good. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't look
and
bad,
he gets
honestly.
the Buster and everything, dude. There's no way. Oh my god, I'm livid. I am. Look at that.
About
Oh.
Bedman.
How are we
Sorry,
supposed to
Bedman?
play this
Bedman?
mod though?
How are we supposed
That's
to what?
the thing. How are you supposed to play the mod though? That's my concern, right? Because if I wanted to play it, like obviously there's probably like emulators or something like that out there. But
You're either modding your Switch or you're running an emulator. Now remember, we here at Double Tap do not condone piracy, even though we do it. We don't condone it. I mean,
is
no
this
one.
really piracy?
I mean,
You're
no
not really
one,
pirating
no,
the game.
no one here pirates. I'm kidding. No one here pirates.
Not
I
really
swear.
pirating the game. They're adjusting the game to be interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, balance changes, all that kind of good stuff is coming in. There's some just really awesome stuff. There's, like I said, the Direct itself is on 64 iOS on YouTube, and go check them out. Yeah, Delilah / Bedman was also another character that they're checking out here. That's actually where it all came from.
Bedman.
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 But yeah, there's other ones. One that got me tripping was like, oh, Miles Morales one was pretty dope. That one was really cool. That one was really cool. But it keeps going. Like I said, it's a full hour. You can go ahead and enjoy it. Go check it out. 64 iOS on YouTube. Just shout outs to like just the community, the modern community in general. I can't get enough of the awesome work that they do out there. I don't know. I don't know what more I could say. It's just like it's a hell of a thing. Like the fact that games are just getting broken open like this to let them really be whatever you want them to be at this point in the hands of the consumer. How crazy is that to be hyped for something like that? I don't know. You tell me if it's just me or if it's you guys too. All right. So we've got let me see. What's the last thing we have for the day here? The modding. Oh yeah, Danger Room. Danger Room went down.
Awesome event.
What was that? What's Danger Room? I don't know what you're talking about.
So Danger Room was I think 8-man invitational and some sort of local invitationals as well for Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3. Most were invited, and then there were players that were in a running, so to speak. They had to like raise money and raise interest and raise votes for them to get to the event. Now the event was almost, I believe, all crowdfunded. The prize pool of about $3,000 was from the merch that they sold from the event. Also, the let me see, the invitees were let's go down the list. I'm thinking it's Jabril, Liberal Terminator, Ray Ray, Noel Brown, Frankie G, No Life, and Not Enough Damage, and I'm missing one more. Oh, Angelic, who was running the event. Along with TNS, Tampa Never Sleeps. I think I missed somebody else, but this what footage what we're showing here was part of the casuals from yesterday, which they held for a long time. But on Friday it was the first round robins, the second, I think there were 3 rounds, and then on Saturday were the last 4 rounds of the round robin, which decided them to be in a bracket that they played Sunday night. And they got a lot of games in, so they got a lot of like sets to play. They knew how each other worked. They're in a more comfortable environment. It's not like a whole chaotic, crowded scene or whatever. But this is good practice for them for Evo. And in my opinion, we got to see sort of the best of each sort of wellhouse. Now, we didn't get to see a whole bunch of Morgans. I mean, obviously, you have Jason Game Dev, who's there as a Morgan player. And Angelic did try to run his Morgan. So, like, we're not seeing the whole crew of all the best Marvel players, but this is a pretty good lineup of Marvel players. And if you're gonna watch it, that's cool, but I'm gonna spoil it for you.
Oh damn!
My homie LT kind of won. I don't say kinda. He actually did not lose a set at all. Even in the round robin, he did not lose a set. He did not lose a set in the tournament aspect of it either. It was close with him and Jabril, and that was the only person who had a close game with him. Even Ray has been struggling. Listen, he has a good chance to win Evo. There's a very good chance. But again, you've got Morgans, you've got Chris G, you've got RF, you've got Ryan LV, you got Kane Blue River, who took him out at Evo. I mean, not Evo, at CEO.
At CEO.
You have also Idam, who sent him to losers. Idam has a very good opportunity at doing well at Evo. Like, I mean, yes, he's playing multiple games, but all it takes is one Mystic. That scene, that part right there was banana sandwich. We went nuts. Look at him nodding. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't. It's the kid is 18. I mean, he played this game. He started playing this game when he was like 5, and like I just looking at like me and Troy, like just like helping him out to get better in the game was like such a really big. And I'm not even helping. I'm just there to just for the ride. He surpassed me as soon as I met him. So like, just watching him grow into like beating all these vets is kind of cool. So I don't know. It was a good watch. TNS probably just uploaded most of the matches. They have a lot of interviews in there as well. So if you don't know any of these players, go ahead and check that out. You get to know their personalities, maybe even root for them at Evo. And it's a good watch. It was a well-ran event. If that is very high-level Marvel. If you want to see what it's like, and if you find these characters boring, then you maybe have to maybe even level up your own game of how you watch Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Because this was high level for me. I can watch Jabril all day because yes, Zero is boring. Damn, his Zero is really good. Like the mix-ups that he has on. Huh? What's up?
So it depends who you say that to, because I do not mind watching Zero.
I don't mind watching.
It's a movie.
Jabril Zero because
it's a movie.
What? Yeah, no, not no. We're not talking about Triforce in his movies. What I'm saying is that he has so many layers to his mixes. If you watch Jabril versus Ray as CEO, he was able to mix up Sentinel, and that's so hard to do because of the hard drive. Sorry, I'm going off on this a lot, but it's just it's the game. It's hype. It's going to be probably its last time at Evo. Who knows? So. Definitely something I'm looking forward to, and the Salty Sweets at Evo. So I'm so hyped.
So once again, if you missed out Danger Room, go check that out on the TNS YouTube page. They have those loaded up, as well as their VOD is completely open. We just definitely wanted to give the shout outs to TNS, to everyone that was there, everyone that partook in it and getting the event to happen. It was incredibly well ran. It was not just games. I mean, don't get me wrong, the games were immaculate. They were awesome. They were hyped to watch.
It was like Big Ten. It was like the
Big Ten or Summit. It was all about like the people as well that make those awesome moments happen. The production was great. Like overall, it was just an incredible event.
I just gotta say real quick, I feel like more communities should take a liking to what Marvel is doing and try to do something similar. Yeah, I know it's hard to get crowdfunding. I know it's hard to do it all yourselves, but this might be the new direction for the games that are not Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to keep that game alive. This is an option, but I also think it's beautiful to see that whether this is the last year of Marvel or Marvel continues on and keeps getting bigger, I think as a community of fighting game players, we should look at it as, hey, we should be building our own type of summit for each game and maybe build around that. I know TNS is doing a great job with that. Maybe it's time to start talking to them about that.
And support each other. That's the biggest thing. Support each other. It all happens because there is support from a crazy amount of community members. I can't even get my words together. Like that do this. It isn't just a one person thing. It's not just Tong. It isn't just like Angelic that ran this. It's a whole lot of crew of people, and it took a lot to get to that point. So just start. That's the hardest thing to do, but just start, and just if you got mad love for it, you got mad passion for it, it'll make some incredible things happen.
There were some players like KBR and Mothman who were invited, but they didn't want to do the crowdsourcing thing, the crowdfunding, and that's understandable.
That's fine.
Some people, if you don't want your fans or your friends to sort of pay for you to be there, that's understandable. Again, it's just an invitational. It's just open for basically those that and anybody was able to get into it.
Format could always change. It's not that big a deal, and it's all good.
But then at the same time, that's the thing. You basically need a community, because there are some that'll just be like, oh, but why wasn't I there, or why wasn't, and then very bitter. I haven't seen any bitterness at all. I don't think. Like, people that got there deserve to, and people that were there, like, people were questioning why Frankie G, why No Life, because they raise enough votes or money or whatever.
Yeah, and they're very good players. They've been pushing it matches on their own way.
Yeah, so
exactly.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, but support your game regardless. All
terrible.
right, even if your game's terrible. No, but still, once again, shout outs to them. That was an incredible event. I was glued to it to watch whenever I had the chance, and once I started watching, I was like, I'm not turning this off because it was just too good. But shout outs, of course, to Liberal Terminator for making that. Thanks for those still. I saw that fresh $10 from CEO when you were betting with me and you lost. Sorry, bud. You can always hold that. We can do some bet. You know what? And if I make it to Evo and you got money matches, I will back you every single way.
Oh,
Every single way. Oh, yeah. If he's got money match, I will back him if I'm at Evo. If I'm not at Evo, sorry, dog. But if I'm there, I got you.
Figure that out.
Yeah, I gotta figure that shit out. But regardless, though, what I don't have to figure out is the fact that we are done for this episode this week. Like I said, we are tapped out. MK1 coming out of the San Diego Comic-Con with hella trailers and even more coming up in the future. We already are very much aware of. We're just waiting for it to get released. Rashid has dropped, so that means a whole new matchup to learn and a whole bunch of unfortunate bugs we have to deal with. Hopefully, we will hear something about it by the time Evo starts. And also, Evo, expect if you're hearing this, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you're listening this, by the time this episode is out on Tuesday, there should be some updates on Evo. So if you didn't get any Finals Arena tickets, you should hear by then. So stay tuned on Evo on Twitter for those updates. But all love once again to everybody that's hanging out with us. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure to follow my awesome host here. We got Static Gorilla, of course, at Static Gorilla on all social media platforms, of course on Twitch as well, where he'll be streaming when he's in tournament. When he's not in tournament, he's usually there, just hanging out, playing whatever things like Heart of Darkness and such.
Yeah, that was such a.
You're a total legal copy of Heart of Darkness, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
of course,
legally
of course.
died like 200 times. I'm sure.
Of course, legal. And then, of course, we got Meza at Meza FGC, of course, on Twitter, aka X, aka I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm Elon Musk. We'll see. But he's also live over at Meza FGC on Kick, where he's been running that DFO and some DNF stuff, right?
Yes, doing a lot of DFO tournaments, doing Thursday night lobbies as always. Still running tournaments, as well as starting up possibly in a whole new series with some friends, doing some dungeon raiding and DFO. So we're expanding. We're doing some different fun things, plus working more on TikTok stuff.
There you go. Make sure to follow me at CrashTagVS, of course, on Twitter. I'm mostly behind the Double Tap FGC Twitter account as well. Sorry, I keep saying Twitter. It's X. But also make sure, if you haven't already, check out our YouTube, Double Tap FGC on YouTube. We post up a bunch of the highlights from the podcast episodes there, the questions, a lot of the visuals, a lot of things that we point out in the trailers and such that we talk about, as well as some awesome content that we got coming down the line. Go subscribe. Go check out there. Subscribe. Check out the other videos that we have going on. We upload every week, of course. See, on that consistency grind. And you guys, of course, can support us by liking, retweeting the tweets when it goes live. We do post up when new episodes or segments go out. We post it all over Reddit, Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook. We're all over the place. So liking all that good stuff, sharing it, maybe someone that you think might be interested in the show, helps a whole lot out. And also giving us a review on your favorite podcast platform of choice. 5 star, 1 star. Maybe we're talking bad about a costume you liked. It is what it is. All love, though, whether it be on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere, whatever your platform is. You guys support us there. Let us know what we're doing right so we keep on doing it, and what we're doing wrong so we can go back to the training room and work on that matchup a little bit. We'll be live next week, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time here on twitch.tv/mash those buttons with a new episode every Tuesday. I'm Crash, that's Static, that's Meza. We've been Double Tap, and we'll see y'all next week, all right? Late.
Till next time.